DM, I think the bigger question here is that, is there a need for deputy ministers?
Yeah.
And then speak to that, and then we can understand the process of, amending the constitution and to take that into account.
Yeah.
But for the majority of South Africans, we don't know, because a lot of our money just goes and deputy ministers are wandering around. So tell us, what role exactly are deputy ministers going to play outside that they should be able to step in as acting ministers if the need arises? Thank you.
No, thank you, Chair, and thanks for the question. I think the deputy ministers have a role to play. It was seen then in '94 when the constitution was crafted that the president will appoint deputy ministers, and they will account to Parliament, and they will be given responsibilities to function. We can say maybe the Constitution is not explicit enough in terms of what they need to do, but a role to play they have. If you look at the ministry that we are talking about, as I said earlier, it's a ministry that is composed of almost 4 departments. And each of them very complex, very difficult to deal with. You need an extra hand. It's necessary to have deputy ministers, Honorable. I'm convinced about that. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Novalu.
No, I just want to confirm that in the current framework, Minister, at DM, in the current framework of deputy ministers, the performance agreement is the only instrument that you can use to assess the performance of ministers, correct?
Yeah.
So it means currently there is nothing, or there is no authority or instrument that is in place that is being used to assess your performance.
Absolutely, because you need that agreement so that you can then take steps necessary against non-performance by anyone after they've been assigned responsibilities.
Okay, lastly, Chair, when you are responding to the Chief Whip of the ANC, you kept on saying you have a good working relationship with the suspended minister,
yeah.
Minister Mkhun.
Yeah.
So against which working instrument do you make that determination? Because there is absolutely no framework that creates a synergy between yourself and him. No. So is it based on feelings, or is based on the performance of your performance as a deputy minister and how he supports the work that he established for you in a performance agreement? So where do you base that?
Thank you, Honorable Member, and thanks, Chair. Why do I say I have a good relationship with him? It's a relationship that I've had with him long before he became a minister. And he came in the space we worked together. The absence of the delegated authority that does not mean the relationship that I have with him is non-existent. It does exist, and I'm referring to that. And obviously, once delegations are given, you can then the issues that you are raising can also come into effect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, DM.
Afternoon.
Honorable Deputy Minister Mathale.
Afternoon.
I know that some people feel that we've been embellished in a way in the matter of PKTT. And indeed, we had to, if you remember that the term of reference in this matter focus mostly on the PKTT.
Yeah.
Now, in your view, do you think that there's any renaissance of the PKTT.
There is any?
Renaissance, the revival.
Oh,
That we can as well, because when I hear you earlier, you were saying that perhaps the winding up, it's a good thing. In my view, I don't think it's a good thing. I want to find, out from you whether this PKTT, in fact, because as you know, there's other provinces, there's an outcry in other provinces as well that perhaps they needed to be attended to.
well, I hear you. Thank you, Chair. I hear you, Honorable Member, and I have no problem with the questions that were asked around this, and you asking the same question in a different way. That's why we are here. I think you'll agree with me, Honorable Member, that if we increase our efficiency and our effectiveness in dealing with murder in the country, and we become effective, if you kill somebody, you get arrested, you get convicted, and throughout the country, there won't be any need for us to talk of a task team, because we will not be having a problem. A problem arises when you have matters that are not resolved. And I think that's what we want to deal with. We want to create the institutional capacity in SAPS to be able to deal with any eventuality that our people are confronted with. If you commit crime, you will be arrested. If you kill, you will be arrested and you will be convicted.
In your view, what was the encumbrance, hindrance, in other words, why you and the Deputy Minister were not delegated powers as is required by the Constitution, that the Minister has to give you, he must delegate powers to you?
Well, I felt very strongly that we must engage with the minister and assist them to fully grasp the complexities of the institution that we are dealing with, so that when he ultimately say, let's delegate responsibilities to this DM and that DM, these are the responsibilities we are delegating to, he is fully alive to what he's dealing with. And I think this is what delayed the whole process, and I'm confident sitting here before you, Chair, and members, that I think the Minister, currently as we speak, he has a fair grasp. He might not be 100% perfect about the workings of the institution, but he has a fair grasp of what needs to be done. And if he is back in office by the end of this week, he will be able to deal with this, which has been outstanding.
I just want to make a follow-up question as well. I'm not going to go back to the issue that you were appointed in July 2024, which means you're almost over a year working with the minister.
Yeah.
I ask this because in a written statement, you indicated that Minister Mkhunu did not consult you or Deputy Minister Bushielo before deciding on the disbandment of the PKTT. But as you know now, that the PKTT formation was not only about the Minister of Police. There were ministries, like my colleague has articulated earlier. In your discussions, if you ever discussed with the minister, did he mention that he's not alone, so he can't take a decision alone on this matter? And did you perhaps as well discuss with the National Commissioner, in your meeting with the National Commissioner, the minister, and your other colleague, about this matter of disbandment, besides the letters of the 31st, as earlier before that?
Thank you, And thank you, Chair. We have had engagements, and that's why when you look at the presentation that we made to the committee that talks to the PKTT and how it must fold its operations, we presented a phased-in approach. And this approach was not necessarily presented by the National Commissioner. We were led by the Minister. So Team SAPS was presenting that. And that is our view as far as that is concerned.
You reveal in your statement something very concerning, that you said since the take-up of your role under Minister Mkhunu, you have not been assigned to any specific functions and have been working on some sort of ad hoc. But in other words, you work like you are moonlighting. You know, in a simple term, let me put it like that. What do you think is the reason for this? Because surely it cannot be administratively or operational sound that for a year you are still waiting for the minister to delegate powers to you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member. And unfortunately, we don't have delegated authority, and I've explained why I think that is the case. And the reason being that the minister was familiarizing himself, and I think I can't say now as we speak, he's still familiarizing himself. That's why I'm saying if he comes into office tomorrow, he will be able to start processes to finalize this because he's fairly clued up with the happenings of SAPS.
Were you followed on that? Were you followed on that? Were you unhappy about that yourself and your minister?
That we have not delegated authority?
Yes.
Of course, I was not comfortable that I don't have. No. Yeah, so yeah, it's not a good thing. Like I sit here, I say I'm not delegated functions, but I understand where the minister come from. He must understand so that he know what he's doing when he delegate. You can't just delegate without fully grasping the dynamics in the space.
Would you agree that perhaps it was a lack of experience and the capacity which were limited to the Minister Mkhunu in terms of the operational dynamics of South African Police Service?
Well, as I said, he was familiarizing himself, and you can't delegate functions of something you are familiarizing yourself in.
As you said earlier, you've been appointed by the President, am I right?
Yeah.
Have you ever discussed your concern with the President?
Well, the President has delegated the minister to deal with the matter, and the minister was dealing with it. The process he was following was to familiarize himself, and when he has full clarity of what needs to be done, he was going to execute.
So the President might not be aware that you don't have delegated powers. The minister did not do that to you.
Well, I don't think the President is not aware of what is happening. He knows.
So the President might have been briefed about this matter. Now, let's come to the issue of the arrest of Khumalo. Were you aware in advance about the Khumalo's arrest, including the time, the location, and the manner in which it was going to be carried out?
We are not aware of subjects of investigation and when arrests are made. You only learn after the fact.
You didn't receive any formal briefing on the details of his arrest because, as you know, it is commonly known now that when General Mkhwanazi was here, he was very specific about IDEC, that they are law unto themselves, and there's some rogue elements at IDEC. Do you agree with that assertion?
Well, that is information at his disposal, which I don't have. And secondly, the issue of arrests, we don't get briefed of subjects of investigations. And when arrests are made, we only know about them after the fact. When arrests have been made, people have appeared in court, then we get to know that so-and-so was arrested, and he appeared in court.
In your opinion, does the coexistence of IDEC and DPCI not constitute a duplication of roles and responsibility?
Not necessarily, but I think we can do better by integrating our efforts in fighting crime or corruption.
You've been a deputy minister now for many years, I must say.
6 years.
And the experience which you have, which is unused in a way. I'm not saying we are not working daily. Not long ago, we were here. I think a week ago, and we turn you back because the minister was not here.
Yeah.
The acting minister was not here.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to bother you much about that. My question, because I know the chair is looking at me now to say I must do as others have done, but I want to disappoint him a bit and our members. I won't take time. The issue which I wanted to raise to you, the issue of factions within the South African top echelons at the South African Police Service. You said in your word, you don't think there's any factionalism. Am I right?
Yes.
What do you think is the problem? Because we've seen other witnesses here. It was evident that there's a serious problem in the top echelon of South African Police Service.
Of course.
Did you discuss that with the suspended or the special leave minister?
Well, the issues that were raised here that indicates differences, I saw them when they presented here. I know that there was a meeting that the minister convened with the National Commissioner and the DNC Sibia and General Mkwanazi to try and assist in bridging, making them work together. I'm aware about that. But the issues of factions, as I've explained, you know, when you have 100,000 people, and I'm not saying 3 people, but there are other people, but whoever they are, they don't constitute a significant number of police that are involved in these differences. And as a result, I maintain that the South African police is intact and we don't have factions in the police. You do have individuals who disagree on matters, but I can't subscribe that to factionalism. For instance, if you look at the case in point here, the people that appeared here, they are individuals that have appeared here, not SAPS, the organization, the institution. So I can't subscribe individuals into factions in SAPS, and SAPS is characterized by factions, no. And the issue of our being turned back here, Chair, by the committee, we accepted your ruling in that meeting, but we didn't agree with it because we believe the committee should have exercised their responsibilities, which was to look at the annual performance plan, which was presented by people delegated to present that responsibility, and it's in line with the Constitution. It's unfortunate that we were made to turn back, which we have accepted, even though we didn't necessarily agree. You remember, I made my comments in that meeting, Honorable Skosan.
Do you agree that the South African Police Service has put this country into opprobrium?
Can you explain that word?
Do you agree that the South African Police Service has put this country into opprobrium?
You'll have to.
In a simple term, Minister, in a public disgrace, we are shameful today because of that.
Honorable Skosan,
Yes.
we
I'm so sorry, Chair. I'm sorry, Chair.
we we communicate with the South African public.
Yeah, no. Hence I've already said what I was saying, Chair. Sorry for that. Thank you.
They must follow you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm saying, Minister, the South African Police Service has put us into a public disgrace or a shame.
No, that I can't dispute with you. Look, I'm not excited sitting here to deal with what we're dealing with. It's a very painful thing to go through. I never looked forward, Chair, to come and appear before you. But when you called me, I was more than willing and ready to come and account to you. But seeing the minister, the national commissioner, the former minister, the provincial commissioner of KZN, the DNC seated here before you, it's a painful thing for me. I can't watch the screen and really watch it from beginning to an end because it's very, very painful. I never for a moment envisioned myself seated and going through what we are going through. Today from 11 o'clock to now, 7 o'clock, we are seated here. This is not what we were elected to come and do. We were elected to serve our people to the best of our ability. And this is not serving our people. So I'm not proud of that.
Ngiyazi ukuthi nesikhethu esiyasazi. Manje ngifuna ukuyivala ngesikhethu. And ngiyazi ukuthi abantu uyabathanda, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And ngiyacabanga ukuthi mhlambe mase ninodwa manikhulumako abantu bekhaya be South Africa apha babawa ukuthi nibahelebhe ngoba ubugebengu bandile. Ngaba sikahlali la njengobuthi ukuthi from go7 ngabe umbereko bawenza ngendlela khona ngaba sikahlali la kwelami ke ngithi ingathi solanka ke noma bangakakunikela umbereko ukuthi uhlehle fanele ngabe uraga kanjani mara umbereko kuyakhombisa ukuthi umbereko usawuthanda ngendlela uziphatha ngakhona nangendlela sinibona ngakhona noma mhlambe ivekele yake and I think kwaba ngimo omunye othi mani ngiba ukuthi nijike nizange naphatheka kuhle mara lokho asikwenzi ngoba kupersonal sikwenza lokho ngoba sithanda isichaba sekhethu ngamanye amagama ngithi sithokoza kakhulu engqongqoshe isikhathi sakho sokuthi usiphe namhlanje ukuthi ukhone ukuthi sisombulule imthlago le abantu abanayo uyabona kubulawa abantu eMamelodi nje kubulewe abantwana abancane into eziningi ezenzakalako ephasina ezingakalungi ngamanye amagama ngithi ngathi nibuyela noma sisahleli la ku ad hoc committee umbereko ungajami ngoba makujama umbereko kubhubha abantu ngalawo magama ngithi man chebe chairperson nami angifuna ukuba ngicede isikhathi njengoba usibawile ukuthi namhlanje ufuna ukuchayisa afruhwanyana ngiyanithokoza.
Thank you for those words. We hear what you are saying. That is exactly what we are committing ourselves to do through you, Chair. We will continue to serve as you continue grappling with the issues that are before you. And the policemen and women out there, they are doing their work. As we speak here, they are working. They are in their respective stations and will continue hosting the flag of SAPS high, despite the challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The hand of Honorable Mathale is up.
Can you imagine, on your day-to-day Deputy Minister, I have 2 follow-up questions. It hasn't happened since we started this committee. So mine is on your defense on why the Portfolio Committee did not take the annual reports. Deputy Minister, you were there representing what? Because you've just told us that you have no designated responsibility. So who was going to answer on behalf of the ministry officially We take our jobs very serious in the Portfolio Committee. And also the National Commissioner was not there as the accounting officer. So whether the ministry was ready to report or not is not the issue. Whether you are ready to account officially,
Yes,
you weren't. Do you agree? Thank you, Deputy Minister. He agrees. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for that comment. As we said in our presentation here, that we are delegated responsibilities from time to time. So the new minister came in. We are working on the delegation. We will be delegated. But that day, I was officially delegated by the acting minister to lead the delegation, and I was together with the Deputy National Commissioner, General Musikidi, also mandated, and we had a full complement of all the relevant officials who were going to talk to the budget. So we're ready from the executive and from the accounting officer side with a full mandate, Chair. Thank you very much.